TMZ said they got the
We have a
truth.
documentary
They got the truth about who killed Michael Jackson. So let's tune in.
that is about to drop on YouTube. And it is called TMZ Investigates Who Really Killed Michael Jackson. Now, as you know, I think, TMZ broke the story of Michael Jackson's death. It was a big story for us, but we didn't stop there. We followed this story every day, every hour, and there were twists and turns in this story. You know that Dr. Conrad Murray was found guilty of manslaughter and went to prison for it because he's the doctor who allowed Michael Jackson to die, basically, from propofol, a propofol overdose. Well, that happened, but I got to tell you, I covered this case top to bottom. And yes, Dr. Murray was there when Michael Jackson died. But to say that Conrad Murray was the one really responsible for Michael Jackson's death, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's...
I agree with that. I don't think it's fair either, for real, because, you know, it's in the medical field. It's hard to point fingers when things don't go as planned, you feel me? Type stuff.
And I think a lot of people got away with a lot with Michael Jackson, and his death, sadly, was inevitable.
Sheesh. From the outside looking in, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, you know, what's your thoughts? Like, I want to know what you think about this situation. You know, most of the time in situations like that, the people who do the blaming, you know, be trying to point fingers as people, be the person who was deeply hurt by this situation. You know, it could be like a family member of Michael Jackson or something, somebody who truly loved Michael Jackson and can't believe that he passed that soon, you feel me? Those would be the type of person.
Say that because Michael Jackson had a long-term addiction to various drugs, including Demerol. And there was a very famous dermatologist in Beverly Hills named Arnie Klein who would inject Michael in his office every day and basically just get...
Bruh. I mean, that means Michael Jackson was allowing it. So they can't blame nobody. They can't say somebody did it type shit. Because you have the right to reject some injections, right? You know, you can say no, you know. Yeah, there's plenty of times where I've told my doctors or my parents that I don't want a certain type of treatment on me and stuff. And I've been walking around freely type shit, you feel me? So, I don't think, you know, people should be blamed in this situation.
On Demerol and make all sorts of pretend excuses on why he was doing it, to a point where people got so suspicious he ended up using a gynecologist's office in the same building and would inject Michael there. There were a bunch of doctors who were fueling Michael Jackson's addiction. Michael Jackson had 19 aliases to get drugs. It is a crazy story where, when you listen to it, even the guy who was the homicide detective in charge of the case says it really is unfair to nail Conrad Murray for what happened here. We speak with him as well. We talked to a lot of people, including Michael's ex-wife, Debbie Rowe, who, by the way, was working in...
Damn, I didn't know Michael Jackson had a wife. Sheesh. Shit, so I guess I don't know nothing about Michael Jackson then. Yeah.
Dr. Arnold Klein's office when Michael was coming in over the years. And she talks about things and cries when you hear about what was going on in that office. So it is called TMZ Investigates Who Really Killed Michael Jackson. It dropped Tuesday.
All right, okay. They dropping a documentary about who really killed Michael Jackson. You guys gonna watch it? I don't know. I think the you know the Michael Jackson story is getting a little old, and they should leave it alone. They shouldn't dig deep into trying to, like, it's not like, his passing was like something terrible, like, you know. But yeah, man, guys, let me know your thoughts, man. Do you think people should, you know, leave, you know, people who've passed away long time ago alone, or they should keep bringing their name back alive? What do you think? Yeah, man, I feel like I don't know what went down, but yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, man, I feel like Michael Jackson had a choice. He was rich and powerful. He had a choice. He could have put a stop to this. I just think maybe it was really his time to go. I feel like they shouldn't blame doctors for anything, because at least he's the one that's trying to help you. Like, sometimes the illness humans carries is, it could be hard to treat and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Yeah, man, I feel like, yeah, they just like to, you know, bring people. They just like to, dig deep into people's profile and just accuse them of some BS. Put them through hell a little bit and shit like that. You know, you know how it be. They will hit you deeply, emotionally, psychologically, and shit like that. But yeah, man, all that stuff gotta stop, man. Always trying to get people behind bars and shit. But yeah, man, it's your boy Midas K, Kofi Interful, also known as Kofi Interful, man. I appreciate you for watching this video. Please watch more of my videos. I got dope content uploaded. We know this is just the beginning, guys. Make sure you leave your thoughts. I would like to read what you think. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with what I'm saying, let me know. But I don't got no problems with nobody. I'm just reacting to this trending topic. All right, stay blessed.